Hey guys, it's Jessica. Today we are going to talk about some new makeup releases that are out. I'm going to split this video into two halves. The first half I'm going to talk about wish list items, things that I'm thinking about buying this month, and then the last half are going to be products that I am not planning to buy and kind of my reasoning. Not necessarily that I think they're bad, but just that either I know they're not right for me, I've talked myself out of it, whatever. Maybe I'll talk myself out of buying some of these things. Maybe you'll talk me into or out of buying something down in the comments. We're just gonna see what ends up happening. And I was thinking about this because I was kind of writing some things down in a list, like what I want, what I don't, and then I was taking screenshots kind of on my phone on the Ulta and Sephora app. And I was like, this is such a good practice for any of us to just, even if you just took a second to make a list, maybe screenshot the things you're thinking about. And maybe you start looking up reviews and find out that, oh, you know what? The reviews aren't that great for this. Or you know what? I have this list and I went and looked at my collection. I really don't need another full coverage foundation or another powder highlighter. So it's one of those things that it's a good practice in really being mindful of what you already have. Now, that being said, I enjoy new makeup, and especially since I'm getting less PR, that means if I'm wanting to try new makeup on my channel or just for myself, I'm gonna be buying it, which is fine. That's why I wanted to share these with you. What am I even talking about anymore? I'm just like going around in circles. Let's start with my wish list items. Let's start with some drugstore things I'm really seriously considering buying. So first of all, I was kind of scrolling through the new arrivals in Ulta's app. I'm noticing, first of all, that Makeup Revolution now has like I Heart Revolution, which seems to be more inexpensive products. And then they have Revolution Pro, which are a little bit more expensive. Well, but not necessarily, because this is not. But then there's Makeup Revolution. Are they all part of the same brand? I'm so confused. I think they're kind of rebranding things or whatever. Maybe it's been known and I just don't know. Somebody educate me, please. But one of the items I'm looking at is $8. It's the Revolution Pro Eye Elements Eye Primer. They had like 3 different colors, but I'm looking at the one that looks more like a beigey yellow color. That it looks like soft ochre paint pot from MAC. For $8, I feel like aren't paint pots like 23, 25 bucks? I'm like, that would be amazing if that were similar or better. So I'm looking at that as a thought because I like potted eye primers and I don't really own any that aren't MAC. In fact, I don't even think I own soft ochre anymore because I think it just finally got old enough that I was like, I should get rid of it. So that one I'm definitely thinking about, but they also have one that's like more shimmery and I was like, that looks like Bare Study for MAC. So I think I'm just going to start with one if I do it. And I think I'm going to get the one in the shade Core, which is that light beige. I'm also looking at the Makeup Revolution Renaissance Lip Liner. First of all, the packaging looks like Charlotte Tilbury packaging. It's just really, really pretty. But this shade Noble is kind of like this like peachy, browny kind of a color. It's called Terracotta Brown, but it's $5 and I'm like, I only kept like 2 lip liners. So I'm like, I want to try some new ones because I just feel like I've been using the same lip liners forever and that it just looks kind of promising. So that I'm thinking about. And then the Uoma Beauty, am I saying that right? Their new concealer and their foundation, but especially concealer, I've heard a lot of good stuff about. So I'm like, do I buy it? Maybe. Like that one is really high on my list because they have so many different skin tones and that's the whole idea behind it. But apparently the actual formula is really good too. I might wait on the foundation, but I think I'm just going to get the concealer if I do it. But speaking of concealer and foundation, Urban Decay just launched their Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation and their Stay Naked Correcting Concealer. The concealer is $29. The foundation is $39. I don't know, you guys. I'm really tempted. The packaging is beautiful, which I know doesn't really matter, but doesn't it kind of matter though? But really, obviously, the performance is what matters. They have 50 shades. Holy cannoli. I don't even know what shade I would be. They do have like a way to find it, so I would go through that if I did it. It's waterproof, long-wear foundation, but it feels like a second skin. It's breathable, flexible formula. It moves with you all day and all night, up to 24 hours. Whoa. It not only feels better, it even looks better with its Stay True color, which minimizes the appearance of pores. Wow. Who did they pay to write that amazing novel of a description? I really think I might try it because I like the idea that it's really weightless, but it's supposed to like bend with your skin, like kind of flexible. Again, bold claims, but I might try that. I think if I do buy that and the concealer, I would do just like a video just trying those out or something like that. Another brand that I used to hear about back when I like started YouTube is Jurlique. And I saw an Instagram post from, I'm sure I was following some hashtag that somehow this post was a part of. And by somehow, I mean because it used the same hashtag. Anyway, I understand how hashtags work. Okay. They've reformulated their like skin mist and the packaging is beautiful. And I know it's shallow, but I mean, the packaging is beautiful. But I love skin mists, especially if they've got good skincare in them. I haven't done a deep dive into what's, if it is good skincare in there, I don't know yet, but I'm definitely thinking about it. But the problem is you can only, at least as far as my research went, you can get at least these products on Jurlique's site, but then like lovelyskin.com and Skin Store had some Jurlique products, but it didn't seem to have this version, like their newly reformulated mist. So I was like, if I do buy one of them, it's gonna be one of the hydrating ones. I think I'll just buy it through their site. Because again, I wanna try out those brands that I feel like not a lot of people are talking about. So, and that would be a great foray into that. Okay, the thing that I'm like buying tonight, I have to buy it, is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Blurring Powder Foundation. Wow, some of my favorite YouTubers love this, and that's what kind of sold me on it. I'm like, okay, Jessica, like I need to try it. I love a good powder foundation, especially if you take a damp sponge and just, oh, it makes your skin look so flawless, especially when you travel. So I think that's one that's like really high on my list. This is one that I'm surprised that I kind of want. It's the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette. It's $45, but this is the new one, and the palette is their Glitz palette. So the other one had more of a traditional like pink blush, bronzer, a like white highlighter. This one has a lot more mid-tones, and I like that because I could kind of mix some things, get a little bit of a highlight going. I like that it's like almost a peachy light blush slash highlight, however you wanted to use it, probably a blush on my fairer skin. And then the bronzer's a little bit more subdued. And I don't know, there's something about this when I saw the new arrivals on Sephora, I was like, I like that one. I didn't like the look of the old one, which is why I never bought it, but this one I actually do, so I'm thinking about it. The Charlotte Tilbury Superstars I tried to say this earlier, Charlotte Tilbury Superstar Lipstick. They only have one shade, Pillow Talk. Now, if you recall, I decluttered my Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks because I didn't like the formula very much. It was just a little bit drier, but not only that, it would always run outside my lip line, both of the shades I had. And so I stopped reaching for them. So I was like, well, then why hold on to them, you know? But this caught my eye because this is supposed to be more of a glossy finish. And I was like, please tell me more. That sounds amazing. I was like, $68. Somehow I have two in my cart. Hold on. So it's $34. It's expensive. This could be one of those that'd be a purse lipstick. It looks like a shade that I would love for every day. So another item I'm thinking about getting is the M Cosmetics Color Drop Serum. So they're available now. They're 25 bucks each. There are 4 different shades. The packaging's cute. I love liquid and cream blushes. It's right up my alley. I'm looking at the shade Rose Milk. It looks like it'd be up my alley, not too bright, not too, I mean, it just, that I would like it. So I'm definitely thinking about that. Oh, okay, another thing that I want are these Charlotte Tilbury. Again, I'm not even sure that they're available yet. It's these like under eye and face cheat, like color correctors. And there's this one in Fair that looks like the Bobbi Brown corrector I love. And so I'm like, which actually I used today. It's like a concealer shade for me, but slightly salmon toned. And I just tap it right here and it cancels out dark circles like so fast. So I'm like, oh no. So I'm really thinking, it says, okay, August to September is when it's gonna launch. That one I'm definitely gonna buy. Now, shall we talk about my anti-haul? First of all, something I'm just not quite interested in is the Tatcha Satin Skin Mist. Now, I will say this, when I first saw it, I was like, let's go, can't wait to buy it. I love Tatcha. But when I started reading the reviews, it's not getting great reviews. And I can't decide if it actually deserves the negative reviews because there are quite a few reviews. How many times did I just say reviews? Some of them are saying, I think that you guys are using it wrong. Like, it's actually amazing. You just have to do this, that, and the other. Like, it takes some finagling. But basically, it's a mist that's supposed to help mattify your skin, but it's doing that by emitting like a fine mist of powder. That's my understanding. I've never tried it. So with that in mind, I'm like, you know, the only time I would want to mattify my face would be like my T-zone. So like for me, I almost always put too much like liquid highlighter on or whatever. So because of that, I have to get a little bit of mattification on my T-zone or else I look crazy. But because of that, with a mist, it's a little bit more difficult for me to control where I want it. So I'm like, I just don't know that that's the product like that's right for me. And maybe I would be wrong if I ever tried it. I don't know. But right now it's just not on my wish list. I'm kind of like holding it in limbo and just like watching to see what happens. Okay, something that was listed in the new arrivals on Ulta's site, but I think it's just that the brand is now being sold at Ulta, but the product's been around. It's the Lanolips Tinted Balm. And I can't tell if this is the exact same product I'd tried, but I was tempted because a lot of the Lanolips products look really nice. I had bought one in the past from a different site. I bought it and I wanted to love it so much. The packaging I think is cute, but it was a really thick, gloopy gloss. And that's just the way it is. But I just found that, you know, it could look nice on the lips, but after about 30 minutes, you'd get that really gloppy ring on the inside. And it was just so uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable to wear. And so for me, it just wasn't my cup of tea, and that's why I was like, eh. So I wanted to bring that up as I saw that that was just now being sold at Ulta, that for me, it's an anti-haul slash don't necessarily recommend based on past experience. Now, the other Lanolips products I have not tried, so they might be very different. So I've not tried these, obviously, duh. But it's the Lancome Hypnose eyeshadow palettes. Now, I've tried Lancome eyeshadows in the past, and I don't remember not liking them. But it's $50 for 5 eyeshadows, and I'm like, man, that's a lot of money. It's not to say that I've not spent that on like quads. I certainly have, and I probably will in the future. But I was kind of flipping through these, like the different options. They have 10 different palettes, which I thought was really cool. None of them really jumped out at me as something that I was like dying to try. They had some more colorful ones. They had a lot of neutral ones, which again, right up my alley. But I was like, I just don't feel this like need to try any of these. I don't know. Have any of you guys tried them? Did you like them? Or like any of them like standout ones that you were like, oh my gosh, like I swatched it and they were so incredible. Now with all that being said, I do actually like the idea of smaller palettes. I find myself not reaching for my bigger ones as much as I do like smaller ones that are just easier to grab and just do a quick look with. Although I say that and I use like the Anastasia Sultry palette on my eyes today, man. I love it. One quick note, I think it's really cool that so many brands suddenly are coming out with mini versions of like a mini version of their foundation Benefit released of like their Benefit Hello Flaw, whatever it's actually called. I haven't tried it yet. Like I'm seeing Tarte has their creaseless under eye concealer. They have a mini for $10. I'm like, that is so cool because A, it's a great way to try it. B, great for travel. But then you're not breaking the bank, and I don't know. I feel like there is a lot of waste with a lot of us that like really like makeup and you own more than one of a lot of things. There's that chance that it's gonna go bad before you use it up. And so it's really cool that they have these minis so you don't have to buy the full size if you don't want to. Another thing that I've talked myself out of it, even though I love Dose of Colors, is it's their new foundation. It's 42 shades, which is really cool. But it's their Meet Your Hue foundation. It's supposed to be mattifying, medium to full coverage. I'm like, I just don't love mattifying foundations. I know that about myself. I don't need to buy any. I'm not the person, like for you guys, I'm not the person to go to look for a mattifying foundation review because I'm going to hate it because I don't like mattifying foundation. But that's my skin type and my preference. You know what I mean? I just don't even need to touch it. I won't like it. On that same vein, the new Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Mattifying Primer. It's funny because I thought the original Fenty Beauty was supposed to be more of a mattifying primer, and I didn't like that. And assuming this is like even more mattifying, again, not my cup of tea, but I'm sure some of you guys will be really into it. If you need that, you got oily skin, go for it. But it's certainly not on my list to buy. So my wish list is like a million times longer than my anti-haul. It's funny because I feel like a lot of the things that are coming out right now, it's a lot of stuff that I kind of feel neutral about. Like I'm just like, I know it's not necessarily for me, but I'm not like dying to try it, but I don't think it's gonna be terrible. So it doesn't feel right to mention in these videos, you know what I'm saying? But I just figured I would share kind of my thoughts on some new stuff coming out with you all. Let me know if you're interested in seeing this more often, maybe every few months. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope that you'll subscribe to catch more of my beauty and lifestyle videos. Come say hi to me on social media. It's JamBeauty89 everywhere. I love to chat with you guys over there, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.